Hello and welcome to another interview on the YouTube Power Hour podcast. I am your host, Erika Vieira, and in this episode, I had the chance to sit down with Sarah Therese. And Sarah Therese decided that she no longer wanted to be a beauty YouTube creator. So she ended up deleting dozens of her videos and completely changing course. And in this interview, she talks about what it took for her to really change the content that she was creating, how it affected her audience, how it affected her growth, and ultimately how it affected her whole livelihood. This is an amazing interview, especially if you have been maybe grappling with this issue of possibly wanting to course correct and change what you're talking about on YouTube. If you're new here, welcome. Every single week, I upload a new interview with a well-known female YouTube content creator, and we pull back the curtain to reveal what it really takes to be successful on YouTube. So comment below, do you have a YouTube channel? Are you looking to start a YouTube channel? Is this idea of changing your niche something that resonates with you? I would love to know what you thought about this interview with Sarah. Like it if you liked the interview, and if you're new here, then subscribe if learning about the behind the scenes of YouTube is something that you're interested in. Enjoy the interview. Mwah. Well, hello, Sarah. Welcome to the podcast.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
I'm really excited to have you on. I have a lot of questions. You have such an interesting channel, and I just think there's a lot that we can dive into. So why don't we first start with having you give us kind of like a Cliff Notes version of your journey on YouTube so far?
Yeah, sure, totally. So I started YouTube before YouTube was really cool. I just kind of dabbled in it as like a 14, 15-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. I was homeschooled all my life, and in that I was kind of grouped with my other siblings. If they did an activity, I was doing the exact same thing, and it was my way to be very creative and to branch out, I guess you could say. So I kind of dabbled in that. I deleted my channels. Like I just kind of put up videos and deleted things. Like I just kind of enjoyed that process of doing it. And then it was around beginning of 2017, I realized this is something I can do well at, and this is something I can perfect and enjoy doing at home with my kiddos. I started off my channel just strictly beauty stuff. It was hair, it was makeup, and having kids made me move on from that. And now I dabble more into health and lifestyle, and I'll still incorporate some beauty, but a lot of it is inward, coming outward, and I think that's cool. Yeah.
So why did you start with beauty on your channel?
Because I was a 15-year-old girl. I feel like that's around the age when you want to wear makeup and you're interested in it. And it's the lipsticks. And that was one of the things that really drew me to YouTube because it was very artistic. Growing up, I loved drawing and I loved art. There was something so beautiful about it. And I did a lot of dance too, because that was another form of being very artistic. So then I found that I could be artistic with myself, all the more so, beyond just dancing, but with my hair and with my makeup. And it's very girly. And I could relate to a lot of other 15, 16-year-old girls in that. So I felt a little bit of inclusion, but also just a lot of self-expression.
So when you were uploading here and there, like you said, because how old are you now?
I'm 24.
You're 24. Yes.
Yeah.
So you're a very young mother of 3 kids, which is insane.
So insane.
Yeah. And so you started almost 10 years ago, kind of like dabbling in YouTube, it sounds like.
Yes.
Just not real. Okay.
Yeah. Not realizing the possibilities YouTube had.
Okay.
It was literally strictly a hobby. Nothing I was hugely, I would say, committed to, because I'd make a channel, I'd play around with it, I'd delete it. I wasn't committed to it. It was very fun, and I didn't realize the possibility that it had. That's around, for the first couple years, early 2017, that's when I went, I want to be a mama at home with my kiddos, and I can make an income off of this. And it kind of just exploded right away, which was cool.
That was my question. So why did you change your mind about YouTube, going from it being something you didn't really take seriously, like a hobby, to saying, hey, I really want to do this?
Yeah, good question. a lot of things in my life up to that point, it was all for fun. My fun and my work was very separate.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't associate fun with work and vice versa. It was very separate.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to, it was one of my friends, and I said, man, I don't like my job. This is driving me crazy. And she was like, but Sarah, you do YouTube as well. This job, I worked at like this store, and it was driving me crazy. And she said, why don't you do YouTube full time? And I said, well, that'd be sweet, but what about income? And she was like, what about income? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she just kind of opened my world towards companies and sponsorships and brands and making your own brand and establishing yourself online. And I was just like, I can't believe this. So it became a continuous passion from the get-go. Mm-hmm. But as time went on, realizing that I can establish this as not just a passion, but a job. And doing it from home is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. And so you said you kind of would start channels and stop them or whatever, or delete them. The channel you have now, were you uploading on this channel years ago, or did you start a brand new channel when you decided to make it seriously?
You know what? I think I started this channel when I was maybe 17, 18. It may have been more like 17. And I played around with it, but I continued to do it because I realized people were watching and people were subscribing. And it was no longer just for me, but I saw this community of people that wanted to see my content and that wanted to be engaged with the things that I did and just kind of my artistic talent that I thought I had. So I kind of at that point took it a lot more seriously because I saw the impact and the people that wanted to see. So that's when I was like, oh, maybe I'll just continue doing this. And then I got to a point where I saw numbers really growing and increasing and more business deals and brand trips and all that stuff. Having kids too, and I live in Vancouver, BC. It's extremely expensive here. My husband works very hard as a journeyman electrician, but even with that, you need a double income. So this was my way of helping and having so much fun while helping.
Yeah. So let's talk about your transition from beauty to what you're doing now. So you really, okay, so like going back to your timeline around 2017, how many did you already had one child already or two, or?
At 2017, I had, oh girl, you're making my mind work. I must have had just one and almost pregnant with my second.
Okay. And at that moment you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to really kind of take it seriously. And then that's when you did your beauty, right?
Yes, that's when I did my beauty. So up to this point, I was hired and let go from so many jobs. There was a lot of job cuts, and I was really discouraged after being let go from my third job. And I just thought, this is ridiculous. Like this isn't me. I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. It's people they gotta let some people go. So, and I was one of them, and I just felt really discouraged, and I was like, I want to do something that I love and something I'm passionate about. So then I decided I'm going to stick with YouTube, because up to this point I was making a bit of money, definitely not something you could live on, but I was making a little bit of money. And I started doing beauty, and I just had my little daughter, and a lot of the stuff that I did it for her, and I wanted to inspire her and, I don't know, just spend more time with her at home versus going to a workplace. And yeah, exactly. So that's when I started up all the beauty. And to be honest, I did really enjoy it. I found a lot of community there. I met a lot of amazing ladies there. And as time went on, you change. And I think you especially change when you go from dating to married to having children, kids, right? Like kids, oh my goodness, like they change more than just your body. So I went through, So I went through a huge change of, actually, you know what? I don't have time to do my makeup right now. Actually, it's a messy bun all day today. And And things like nutrition and working out and self-care and mental care, that's huge when you're a parent, because your kids really mentally drain you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That became way more important. But I continued the beauty content because that was my foundation. And that's where I was really resting. And that's where I had a lot of my views and subscribers. People love the makeup videos. And even still, I have a lot of subscribers that enjoy when I release a makeup or beauty related video. But as times changed and I had kids, I was just directed to a completely different area than beauty. And I flipped around and I thought, I don't want to do beauty anymore. I don't want to wear tons of makeup on a daily basis. I don't want people to be so surprised when I'm not wearing makeup. And I want to focus on health and cooking and being a mama, because that's what I'm in right now. And I want to focus in on that. It'll also make my job that much easier if I'm just continually focusing on what I'm doing right now versus what I feel like I should be doing. So I uploaded a video and I said, I want to start fresh. I want to do something different. And I was like, are you guys with me? Are you guys with me? And they're like, yes, Sarah, we're with you. And that was great. And I uploaded my first video and it was a bunch of healthy habits that I do and things that are important for me and my physical health and my mental health. And it went over huge and beautifully. And I'm getting phone calls from people and my agent is like, all these people want to partner with you. These people love your content. And it was from that one video. And I just felt like, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is it. This is what I want to do. So I went from
which one? It was one of these, right? These are your most 10 healthy habits to start today.
Yeah. That was it. And people just went crazy over it. And that's when I realized that my subscribers grew with me. I had so many subscribers that said, I started watching you when I was 18, 19, and now I'm in my early 20s and I have kids too. And I need something a little more relatable than an hour-long makeup routine. So that was very cool. It was cool to know that people wanted this type of content and that they were willing to support me in it. I think growing yourself is cool, but what's even cooler is when people grow alongside you and then support you in your growth. That was amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure that felt really, really good. So how many subscribers did you have when you made that switch?
When I made that switch, whoa, good question. I must have had maybe just short of 200,000.
Okay, so you had built up a decent following at that point.
Yeah, I built up a very decent following. And at that point, I felt nervous about trying something different because that was a huge number. That was huge. Even still, 200,000? No, girl, that's a huge number.
That's a lot. So, that's like, were you scared? Because obviously you were contributing to the income of the household through AdSense, through brand. I don't know if you had some, beauty brands that you were working with, sponsorships.
Yes.
Okay.
It was nerve-wracking because it's one of those things where it's like, like Disney, like chase your dreams and do all this stuff. And for me, it was like, but is this realistic? Like, is this what people want to see? I felt like I had a lot on the line. And my husband was like, if you're not loving what you're doing, don't do it. And I realized I'd rather be making videos that really are me and embody me, to 10,000 people than make videos I'm not hugely passionate about for 200,000 people. So it went over extremely well. The growth came, the people came, and they've stayed. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's really, really, really incredible. And so when I was looking at your channel, and we talked a little bit about this, let me show this. So I was like, wait, did you just start? And if you're on the podcast, I'm kind of showing this on, the YouTube channel. But I was like, did you only start your channel a year ago? Because I feel like, when we talked earlier or whatever, your forum, it was not. And you said, yeah, because I deleted all my old videos. So why? And if you look here, on Social Blade, which is really interesting.
So
You see a
interesting.
huge drop. So that was actually just recently when you deleted everything.
That was super recent. I even had a video where I said I deleted my YouTube videos. It needed to happen. I continually meet people on the street and in stores and fast food places and restaurants, and they are like, "Oh, you're Sarah Therese. You're the beauty guru." Every single one. And it was like, I let that go like a little while ago. Like, I wanted to shed this title, and it's been happening since forever. I've been known as Sarah, the beauty guru. And I understand that's how I built my channel. That was the foundation of my channel. And I have a lot of kind of precious memories towards my beauty guru days, because that's how I started. And I did start out with a passion for it, but I had to let it go. And I had people coming to my channel, seeing my beauty videos, and then being disappointed because I don't do that anymore. We call them fake subscribers. They subscribe for previous content and it's not relevant anymore. So I had kind of an urge for a very long time to delete these videos. I wasn't attached to any of them. And the reason why is because there was no sort of memory in them. It's not like it was me showing my kids or my birth videos or anything. It was me with a Maybelline eyeshadow palette. It was me going to Sephora. It was me spending my money on so many cosmetics, and I didn't have any sort of a connection with these videos. So I deleted them, realizing my income would go down, which surprisingly it actually didn't.
Really? I want to ask you about that too.
Yeah, you would honestly, and even looking at that, you would think it would go way down. And I am making just as much now as I was previously before I deleted all those videos, because Google AdSense, different times of the year, they'll really boost up your ad revenue. And I just really got boosted. When I started deleting my videos, I went up. So even though I'm making, or even though I have less views, I'm still making the same amount of money I did because of my AdSense kind of raise right now, which is fantastic. I do expect it to go lower as the year kind of progresses into January, February. It will really drop. But I think the feeling of, and just recently, I'm finally getting people coming up to me and being like, "You're the health girl, you're the mom, and I feel like I'm finally kind of shedding that beauty guru title. I wasn't ever ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it now, but it's not what my brand is." So I had to make that step. It was another kind of step that I was like, I don't know about this. But I wanted to release those videos to kind of shed what I used to do, what I used to be, and to move forward. So that was really me moving forward, and I'm honestly happy I did.
So you full-blown deleted how many videos?
It was about 200.
Oh my God. That's
yes,
a lot.
I know. And you know what? That's a lot of videos. And even though I don't have any connection or kind of like sweet memories over these videos, I had sweet memories over the work of it and the prep of it.
The time.
You know, it was a lot of time.
Yeah.
So much time. But it was a great thing to do. Still, part of me goes like, that was crazy. That was so crazy. But I feel like I am just letting that go, moving forward. I'm happy I did it. It was a tough move. I've had a couple big tough moves in this whole industry, but every single time I've done it, I haven't regretted it so far. So it's been good.
Yeah, because your channel took off after that. Like because right now you have almost 800,000 subscribers, and like a year ago,
amazing.
Yeah, a year ago you had like 500,000 subscribers. Not even, no. A year ago, 475. So you've like practically, doubled your subscriber base after making this change, deleting all those videos. So things have worked out with you kind of listening to your instinct and just, I don't know, doing what you want.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people get nervous out of the idea of changing and letting things go and letting a lot of your work go.
Yeah.
But like I said before, my subscribers were so with me, and and because they grew with me, they understood everything. I had a lot of people that were kind of bummed over me deleting some of my old videos because I think a lot of people that follow you can see you as a really good friend. And I think that's such a beautiful way of looking at me. It's so cool. So they would look at these old videos and it was memories. It was almost like looking through a scrapbook. Like that's kind of the feeling of it. And I guess I kind of felt that too, but it wasn't fully worth it for me. It's like, go on my Instagram, scroll on back, you'll see some creepy photos of me. But just for YouTube, this is where I'm really serious, and this is where I'm building my brand, and I want all my content to be very similar, the same. And now that I've shed just a strict beauty guru video title, I do anything from mom stuff to vlog stuff to health to fitness. I talk about emotional stuff, day-to-day stuff. It's more of an overall relatable vlog, but you will still see me throwing in some beauty things because I still hugely appreciate kind of the beauty industry. I mean, even just looking at you, like your like the first thing I saw is like your makeup and everything. I love it. It draws me in. But as a mom, it doesn't draw me as much.
Yeah, you don't have the time.
It used to, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't wear this every day. That's for sure. You know, it's kind of like.
Well, you look good, girl. Come on.
Thank you. Thank you. But I mean, I think this is such a really good lesson and I want to ask you another question too. But I work with a lot of women in my YouTube boot camp and clients and stuff, and a lot of them are really scared because a lot of people go into YouTube doing one thing, maybe it's makeup or something, and then they realize over time that that's not truly what their passion is, and then they're kind of in this fight of, yeah, but I have all these relationships with brands and this is how I'm making money, plus like this is my audience, this is what they want to watch from me, like that's not what they want to watch from me. And so I think you are a really good example of someone truly following your heart and not, it sounds like, I mean, things worked out for you, but it sounded like you didn't really care either way because you just did not want to be doing that anymore or associating yourself with that anymore.
Oh, it was so true. I wanted to shed that. I found it easy to do. I thought if I lose everything, I'm still happy that I did this. Again, I'd rather be doing something I love and something I'm happy about and passionate about with little views and little income versus the opposite. I think being very genuine is very helpful, especially here on YouTube. There's so many people that aren't genuine and they don't speak their minds and they don't do what they truly love. It's all about getting people to click on things and clickbait and thumbnails. And for me, it's just me doing my thing, sharing my heart. And since doing that, people don't come back for my mom videos, my vlog. People actually don't come back just for that kind of almost themed content. People actually come back for me and just the things that I have to say. I have like some guys that watch my videos for no other reason than they like my personality and my short hair. Like it's very, very cool to see that some people will watch YouTubers for their content and some people will watch YouTubers for the fact that they're relatable and cool. Yeah. So I feel like I'm so thankful. I feel like that's where I've gotten, and I'm going to sit here for a little while. It feels good. Yeah.
And so, okay. Oh, one question before I move on. So after you made that switch, did you see immediately after like a drop in subscribers, a drop in views in your videos?
I saw a drop in my subscribers. It wasn't anything huge. And to be honest, and you could see you just telling me that I'm almost at 800,000. I was like, what? Because I actually don't keep a huge eye on the numbers. I just do content. But when you go through a huge change, you look at those numbers and you see how it affects you. And I saw a little bit of a drop, but it didn't last too long. I started getting more views on my newer videos versus my old videos. And I remember looking at some of my old videos, even when I was just deleting them, and it was like 10,000 views, like some of them were like 8,000 views, and now some of my videos is just out the wazoo, super crazy. So I saw a drop, and then that drop just kind of
picked up.
It picked up, and I knew something like that would happen whenever you go through a change or just a difference in content and structure in your channel or any type of social media. You're going to see your subscribers be affected by it, and some will stay, some will go. For the most part, a lot of them stayed.
I feel like I have so many questions for you. So,
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I really want to talk about this video because I watched it and I was like, oh my God. I had so many questions going through my head. You probably know which video I'm going to ask you about. Let me share my screen. That one, your natural home birth.
Oh yeah.
My God. That one that has 5.3 million views. I watched the entire thing.
No way.
You didn't know it had that many views?
No, girl. No.
How do you not look at your views? It's right in front of you. Do you never look at your channel?
Oh, girl, you know what? I need to look back on my channel. A lot of the time, it's like my latest 5 videos. I look at those. I look at the analytics and the income and all that stuff. And then I kind of forget about them as time goes on. Dang, that's a lot of people who've seen me giving birth.
Yeah. So, okay. I have a lot of questions, but now you brought up something interesting. So at the time, though, when you uploaded this, did it not take off right away? Because it sounds like you're surprised at the number of views. Or did it take off but not, at 5.3 million?
It took off very fast. The amount of people that want to see you give birth in a bathtub is madly hilarious. and I accepted that immediately. It was a very special video for me to obviously do. Yeah. And it was beautiful. It was my dream birth. I planned to do that with my daughter. It didn't happen. Didn't really plan to do it with my son, but wish I did. And then with my last daughter, I was able to give birth in a bathtub at home. Is fantastic, and I didn't think I was in labor at the time. So no, when you post something like that, a lot of people get interested. I remember being pregnant. I always watched those type of videos. I loved watching labor videos. I loved the lightheadedness I felt when I watched this lady in labor. Like it was exciting and it was intense, and I always looked forward to actually giving birth. That big belly. Anyway, so I did this video. I uploaded it, and it happened fast. I think within the first week or so, it was getting close to 1 million views, and I expected that because it was at home. It was in water, and on the thumbnail, I look very young, and I looked very controlled. And I think for a lot of ladies who are pregnant, they want to click on that because that's about as real and as raw as you can get for someone who's actually in labor. So it took off very quickly. A lot of videos that are births and all that stuff, they take off very quickly. People are interested in labor. A lot of people don't even know what labor is and what the ladies go through. So posting videos like that usually take off pretty fast. I mean, even when I did the video where I shaved my head, that took off very fast too. Especially on Instagram, I got a lot of post feedback there on Instagram. So yeah, wow, that's a lot of views. Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. So it took off right away, 1 million views. But then beyond that, were you tracking it? Did it continue to skyrocket up, or did you just kind of forget about it and you had a baby and you moved on with your life?
You know what? Girl had a baby and I mildly moved on. I focus on the content I do now, and I really sit there, and I feel like as soon as those videos start getting kind of pushed and new content comes in, I don't forget about them, but I'm not someone who's on my computer and looking at like overall analytics, the things that are going through with my channel, all the comments, all the like I really just focus my channel on the things I want to do now. So I'll look at an old video and I'll be like, I can't believe it's at that many views. And a lot of people may look at a video and they'll want to recreate it. Obviously, not a birth vlog. I never want to do one of those again. But for another type of video, like a skincare video or a haul video or whatever, some people have very, very popular videos and they'll go ahead and recreate it, hoping that they'll gain those type of views again. But for me, I usually don't want to. I usually just want to continue moving forward and pushing forward. Sometimes I will update things, but there's too many people who really sit in the past and they sit on their past videos and go, oh, this did so good 2 years ago. I'm going to do something like that again and we'll see how it goes. And for the most part, it's just unneeded. Your subscribers have seen it. Your people have seen it. Come out with new content more often and bring new stuff to the table. I think there's a lot of great videos that I've uploaded and that I've really, really enjoyed. But for the most part, just thinking like, I'm done with those now. I'm going to move forward. And people appreciate when you move forward and when you try new content. And I think that's a great way for me to kind of experiment with different things. And then also every single time you upload a video, your subscribers are saying something and the public is saying something with the views, with the likes. So I'll sit, watch a video, see how it goes for maybe the first month. I let it go and I move on.
God, that's so interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So I do want to go back to this birth vlog video though, because as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, okay, I'll pull it back up. I'm thinking, how the heck does she want to be? Okay, so I had 2 babies. I did an all natural birth for both of them. Not in a bathtub, not at home, but in a hospital, but they were both all natural. And so
awesome.
I related a lot to your video. I mean, I watched the whole thing. By the end of it, I was like crying. I was like, oh my God, because it brings you back, you know, it really brings you back in that moment, that moment when you hold your baby for the first time. It is such a
huge.
Crazy. And you showed everything. I'm like, it's amazing that you did this to me. This is so amazing because it's like,
okay, good.
Last thing I'd want to be is to be on camera, you know? How are you okay with being on camera in this moment?
I love showing people the vulnerable parts and I love being real and raw and I want to show ladies what is possible and I want to inspire people. If you only show the good stuff, people aren't going to get inspired. People aren't going to watch. People don't want to see the good stuff. People want to see it all. So I'm pretty careful with the things that I show. But when it comes to things that I'm feeling, things that I'm going through, and that includes labor, I want to share this. This is cool, this is important, and this is empowering to a lot of women. I've met women on the streets and they've said, I've watched your birth vlog and I went for a natural birth at home as well, and I'm so thankful that I did. So that was very cool. I'm here to inspire people, and I loved giving birth at home in that nice warm bathtub. I didn't think I was in labor at first, but I grabbed my camera just in case. And I have a relationship with my subscribers that's very much, I want them to be a part of this. I want them to see this. I want them to witness this. I want them to join me in this moment. And for me, labor was just something where I feel like I did take it seriously, but I didn't take it so seriously that I wasn't willing to really open up and share it with some mamas who could maybe be encouraged by it. I had so many mamas that went like, this actually is giving me the guts to have babies, you know, and I can do it. You see the videos of these ladies screaming their faces off and TV, and it just freaks out so many people. And I thought, here is my chance to be super open, very vulnerable. This is me in the most painful moment of my life. And I come out successful and holding my baby. My husband, like, don't even get me started, girl. Like, I've gotten messages from ladies being like, if your husband could be at my labor.
I mean, your husband was so supportive. Oh my God, your husband was like amazing. It's just the video was absolutely incredible. And then at the end, when you pull the baby, I just was like, oh my God. But it's just like, oh my God. But that's what labor is. I mean, that's what it is. That's what happens, you know? So you literally picked up a camera, and then did you set it up on a tripod? Like your husband set it up and he with someone? Yeah.
A good idea. No, I had my teeny tiny Sony mirrorless camera, and I just stuck it on the toilet, and I thought this will be fine. And I kept the lights super low. I didn't want this to be fancy. I didn't want this to be staged or anything that was overly scripted. I wanted this to be so, so real. The quality and the audio, but people can watch this completely like deaf and go like, I feel this. I understand that. Like just watching and seeing our teamwork and what I go through. And then when I grab Elizabeth and I'm just shocked. Shocked. This was an important video. I wanted to share this with people. My midwives have used this video as well to encourage other ladies. I think one of the coolest things with YouTube is the amount of encouragement that comes from it. And even just with my YouTube channel in general, I've watched videos and I've listened to your podcast, and it just makes me go like, I am capable of doing this. I can do this. And I want to encourage people, whether it comes to labor, whether it comes to health, lifestyle, mom stuff, you're capable and you can do this. A lot of my content is kind of centered around that. So it's very empowering. It's very cool. I love my birth vlog.
Oh my God, there's a baby. That's like,
isn't that amazing? Yeah.
It's so amazing.
I got her. She just, and I didn't actually push. She fell out.
Yeah.
She fell out. Yeah.
And like your reaction, it was just like, the whole thing, I was like, oh my God. It was just so raw and so natural, and it's just life, and there's just so much to it. I'm not surprised that video went viral.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've gotten people showing me them at birthing classes, and there's my video, and I've had people actually being in labor watching this video. That's why I do what I do. It's beyond just doing this for myself. It's doing it for other people. The amount of stuff that I've gotten from watching videos and listening to podcasts is huge. So if I can put just a drop into the ocean of the YouTube world, I'm going to do that. If it affects one person, sweet, I affected one person.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, you affected 5.3 million on that video. So yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so as a mother of 3 little babies, how old are your kids?
3, 2, and almost 1.
Yeah, okay. That's crazy. So I want to know, like, how do you get all this done? How often do you upload?
I upload 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
It's usually about 2 times. Sometimes if I'm super into it, girl, I'll upload 3 times. I'll be super happy about that.
Yeah. So how do you do it? Like, how do you get it done with the kids? Is it nap time? Do you have help? Do you have someone watching the kids? I noticed in one of your videos you had a baby in the background, but like I'm thinking, where are the other 2? Because I have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, so kind of same age. I don't have that 1-year-old, but yeah, same age. And those ages is like, it's
a tough one.
Yeah. So I'm like, how I want to know, and I'm sure a lot of mothers, or people that want to have kids, how do you do it? How do you do it with the kids? What's your schedule like?
My schedule, yeah. I get a lot of people asking this whenever I go talk at different conventions and stuff. Women just want to know, how do I do this? I wake up at 5 every single morning. And a lot of people may not be morning people. To be honest, I'm not a huge, intense morning person, other than the fact that I love the things I get done in the mornings. I'm tired. I'm not always all there, but the amount of things I get done is incredible. So I wake up, I brush my teeth, I work out, I make myself feel amazing. I dive into books, and I read my Bible, and I journal, and I do beautiful stuff that just gets my heart and me emotionally ready for the day. If I do not wake up at 5, I am grumpy and sad, and you just don't want to be near me. It is my preparation for a very beautiful, successful day, and a day where I can work well, love on my kids, and of course my husband really well. So I start at 5, wake up and do all my stuff. Before my kids wake up, I'm going to go through my emails. I'm going to go through any Instagram things that I need to look at, whether it's tags. I usually don't post early in the morning because my traffic is down in the mornings. I'm more of an afternoon viewer when it comes to YouTube and Instagram, but I've kind of prepped myself for the day. So doing my emails, prepping Instagram posts is very helpful. And then also looking through my YouTube, any edits that I have to do there. The kids wake up, I hang out with my kids. When my kids are awake, my kids have my attention. This can be something.
What time do they wake up?
They wake up anywhere between 6:30 to 7. But it's usually about 7. Recently, with the darker mornings, sometimes they're pushed to like 7:15. Praise the Lord. I love that.
Yeah.
So when the kids are awake, they have my attention, unless it is a quiet time. So even though I have a 3, 2, and almost 1-year-old, they all understand what quiet time is. They all understand what it is to sit on their bum and read a book, give mama 10 minutes. I can go ahead and I can do some Instagram stuff. I can post something. So this is usually around 11 o'clock, just before lunchtime. That's a time where I feel like I really need to encourage my kids to relax and calm down. So a quiet time is really needed for them. I'll do some quick Instagram posts because my traffic is now brought up because it's the afternoon. A lot of mamas are on their phones in the afternoon, so that's when I get to
nap
that.
Time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nap time, right? At 1 o'clock, all my kids go to bed except for my daughter Ivy. My daughter Ivy has a servant's heart. She wants to help me. And she will do things like
she's your 3-year-old
microphone. She's a 3-year-old. She'll get my microphone. She'll help me prepare, and she'll sit with me and she'll read books while I film. She's great at keeping herself busy. She'll do some homeschool by herself if she wants to. And that's kind of a time when we get to hang out. So my kids, my son Calvin, who's 2, and my daughter, who's almost 1, Elizabeth, they will nap from 1 till about 3:30. 2.5 hours in the middle of my day to hash out some work. So even today, I've been vlogging all day, which has been very, very fun. That's just when I take my camera with me. I show people my day. It's very raw. It's very cool. And then I also filmed a few videos while the kids were napping. Those videos will be edited for the rest of the week. And those will be later uploaded at the end of this week and at the beginning of next week. So those are great to have done. Also having a vlog, I can see that I've pumped out 3 videos today. So that's going to have me for a good week, maybe just over that. My kids wake up at 3:30 and I'm making dinner. We're hanging out. We're doing chores. My husband's going to come home. Everyone goes to sleep. My kids go to sleep at 7 p.m.
Oh, wow.
My kids
even
get
the 3-year-old? She'll go down at 7?
Oh,
okay.
She gets so tired. She gets
she doesn't nap.
She doesn't
so
nap.
Mine still naps.
Okay, so mine, she used to nap in the middle of the day, but then she wouldn't go to sleep until 11.
Okay.
So
and I tell sometimes my 3-year-old, because she's kind of sometimes naps and sometimes doesn't, but I do the quiet time. I'm like, well, you know what? Sissy's napping. This is quiet time. This is mommy's time, And so I've heard her in her bed, like she just sings and plays with her books and like talks to her dolls and all that stuff. And it's like, I'm all about the quiet time. It's like, if you're not napping, then it's quiet time.
Yeah, exactly. And kids need a nap time or a quiet time.
They do.
And I think it's very important for them. So she goes to sleep at 7, as well as my other kids. Normally after 7, my time is with my husband. We love hanging out. We love talking and just being together and do cute wife-husband things. But there are some days where I'm like, man, kiddo, I need to get some work done. And he will go do his thing. And sometimes I'll work till 10, 11 o'clock, sometimes 12. It really, really depends on the workload. So that's usually my schedule. I work when my kids are napping. Middle of the day, my daughter Ivy is very helpful with work and keeping herself occupied and just kind of seeing what I do. She likes the camera. She likes that whole type of field. She thinks editing is just so cool and it's mildly beyond her, which keeps her really kind of focused in on what I'm doing too, because it's interesting and it piques her. So that's pretty much how I do it. I rest on Sundays, Saturdays, maybe keep up on some things. But that's how I balance all my stuff by myself with 3 kids.
Oh my God. So when do you do most of your editing? During that middle nap time or at night?
Yeah. So middle of the nap, or middle of the day, that nap time, I will either film or edit. Emails are for the morning, for the evening. Sometimes I can hash them out here and there in between editing or filming in the middle of the day. But middle of the day is when I really sit down, buckle in, and I work a lot.
Wow. You get a lot done in those 3 hours or 2.5 hours. Yeah. I know. That's amazing. So you don't have a nanny or family or anybody that comes and helps you
I'll get my sister-in-law. So she'll usually come on Tuesdays. Here and there, I've had her come on Wednesdays, but it's usually Tuesdays. She'll watch the kids. For me, during this time, I don't really film. It's more of editing, catching up on emails, conference calls, business meetings, things where I can't be interrupted. If it's a conference call, a business meeting, I don't want to have kids or my daughter hanging out in the background. I just need someone to take care of them. So some weeks I have her, some weeks I don't. But when I have her, it's very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Very, very productive.
Yeah. Yeah, gosh, because I was like, she doesn't have any help. That's insane. But because sometimes you can't have any of your kids. You're talking, it's a serious conversation. You don't want your 3-year-old there in the background,
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, so do you outsource anything? So do you outsource any of your editing, graphic design, your thumbnails, anything at all?
It's all me, girl. It's all me. I'm a control freak and I'm a perfectionist. There will be a point where I will hire some people on, more like a team of people, and I'll slowly look into that as I continue homeschooling and such, because I will be schooling all my kids from home. So
oh my God.
I know.
Oh my God.
Put as much stuff on our plate as possible. So there will be a point where I have to realize I'm too busy. I need help.
Yeah.
But I'm someone, I like control. I like being hands-on. I like being in charge of my content completely. And the less people I have to answer to, the better, because it's more work in a lot of ways to have a team, especially in the get-go.
At the beginning, it really is. It takes time to set it up, make sure people are doing things right.
Exactly. So there will come a time where I will do that, maybe get an editor, maybe at a time produce less content if my views are really going up and my income stays very stable. So, but it's just me for now. And you know what? It's working well so far. I can see myself kind of sitting here for maybe a year or two and down the road getting some much needed help.
What about a manager? Because I know you do some sponsored videos. I saw some on your channel. Do you have a manager who does that?
Okay, no. So I used to have an agent and a manager, and it was one of those things where it was harder to have them than not. They were also, I could have picked better. Let's say that I should have been a little bit more picky with my manager and my agent. I looked over a lot of resumes. This person seemed like the best, but when it came down to it, there was a lot of lagging and things that needed to be addressed now, and they were addressed a month from now. And I lost a lot of partnerships and brands and opportunities, and I just had to let my agent and also my manager go, because I just felt like the team wasn't working for me. So the next time that I get an agent or a manager, I'm going to need to make sure that they are working for me instead of almost me working for them. I need someone to be more on my side and to be more helpful. And I didn't feel like they were helpful at all. It felt like I was babysitting. I do enough of that. So that's something I would like to do in the future. It'll be a little bit, but definitely for the most part, I will do all my own emails and all my own conference calls. I like doing that. It's more personable with the brands. It's cool to be a little bit more one-on-one and no middleman. And then in that, I can kind of communicate to them what I'm thinking, what I would like to do with their products, and then some.
Wow. I mean, it's so inspiring. I think I just love your story. I mean, you're a mom of 3 and you're doing it, yet at the same time, you're still dedicating time to your children and you're being present and focused with them when they're up and there with you. And so I think you have a very inspiring story. How do you come up with your video topics?
Yeah, a lot of people ask that, and I talk to a lot of my YouTube friends, and they're just like, I'm stumped. I don't know what to do. It's like burnout, right? And where do I go from here? The amount of content I can put out. Yeah, like if you look at it, an ex-beauty guru makeup routine, decluttering my wardrobe. I got a vlog. I got stuff about furniture, cutting my kids' hair, thrifting, fitness, what I eat in a day, fast fashion. I have so many topics.
So many different topics.
So many different topics that I can cover. And even right now, I have a huge page with about 50 different videos that I still want to do. I am continually inspired to do things. I'm continually meeting people who inspire me to do things. There's always stuff that I want to talk about, and there's always stuff that I'm learning about that I also want to share. There's stuff that I do and I think it's just normal, and I'll mention it in a vlog for 10 seconds and people are like, we want more, we want more. And that's another huge video. So the amount of requested videos I have is a long list. And the amount of videos I just want to hash out is another very long list. My inspiration just comes from my lifestyle and what I do. The way that I shop and the way that I take care of myself. A lot of people can find it cool and inspiring. And you know what? Sometimes I watch my videos back, I feel mildly inspired. So you know what? It usually just comes from me, what I'm up to, what's working best for me right now. And people like that. It's relatable. I'm not someone who goes onto Pinterest or Instagram and that's where I'm finding content. I find content in doing my dishes, in working out, in talking with someone. I find content in the usual daily stuff that I go through, in the everyday. And especially with kids and with a crazy cool husband, everything is all over the place and it's busy. And I go through the motions a lot, and everything is inspiring. Everything is worth talking about, especially as a mom. I feel like as moms, we can think like, oh, this is just normal. This is just what I do. You post about it and you get messages of women crying and being like, I needed this today. So posting about the everyday stuff and also just the kind of inspirational, this is what I do, I feel so great since doing this. People really enjoy that and they really feed off of that.
Yeah, gosh, that's amazing. So do you, and I feel like I know the answer, but maybe not, do you pay attention to your analytics?
I do a bit. I will sometimes go months without looking at my analytics. I look at YouTube as a business, but I am not a businesswoman, you could say. I feel inspired. I make videos. I post. I pray they do well. I pray that people love them. When it comes to my analytics, it's usually every couple months. I'll look at them and I'll kind of laugh to myself and be like, I can't believe this did well. I can't believe this is going well. It's not something I focus on. When people start overly focusing on the algorithm and the analytics and everything in between, they lose content and they lose productivity, and they're all consumed into, is this doing good? How is this doing? Is this going up? Is this going down? And I know sometimes looking at analytics can be really hard and it can be really depressing. And I don't want to associate those kind of things with my job if I feel like I don't have to. So I am literally someone who makes videos, posts them, check up on them for the first little bit, let them go, and then move on to new content. It can be hard to get stuck in the analytics and the algorithm and think I could do better. Why aren't people watching? Why is this going down? When really I get a lot of joy out of just making the content. I do keep my eye on Google AdSense because, of course, this is a job and this is a business, and income is very important here. So it is a form of analytics, but it's nothing that I sit on. It's nothing that I think over and feel good or bad about. It's a number. I'll take it. It's $5. Perfect. I just love putting out the content. That's what I'm here for. And I think people need to look at their views and analytics less and look at their more of their content and the guts of it more. A lot of my YouTube friends will be like, oh, my views are going down. Oh, my analytics. Oh, I'm just feeling depressed. And it's like, Okay, but what are you filming? What are you doing? What are you up to? That's what's the most important thing to me. So I don't sit in my analytics. It's a tough place to be. A lot of people love it. It's not for me.
Yeah. So what would you tell somebody like that? Like, what would you tell somebody who's like, God, I would love to have a channel like Sarah. Like, yes, she puts out home runs and she's just living her life and doing her thing. And I feel like I'm doing it, but it's like nobody's watching. Nobody's like, I'm not growing. What would you tell that person?
I would tell them so many things, but I mean, some of the first things that come to my mind is just create blindly. There's times in YouTube where we're so fixed on the views that everything else dwindles. And when I create blindly, I mean put out content and just let it go. Don't put out content and focus on the numbers. Don't put out content and see who's subscribing. Don't look at your graphs. Upload and let it go. Once I really started changing up my channel, I did focus in on those analytics and I saw everything grow, and then I saw it kind of dwindle, and I saw it grow, and every time I saw it dwindle, I let it go. It's something that we focus on way too much. So creating blindly is very, very cool. There will always be a point where you go back and you're going to look at your views and you're going to look at your comments. And a lot of the ladies that I say to create content blindly, they're absolutely surprised at the amount of subscribers and views they gain just because they're not focused on them. Mm-hmm. When you're focused on it, it's almost like it's not genuine, and people can see you're not doing this because you love it. This is for the views. You want me to click on this. You want me to do this stuff. It feels pushed. It feels rushed. It's too businessy. It's too professional. I tell people, stop being so professional. People don't want to watch a professional. People want to watch a friend. People want to watch a sister or a brother or whatever. So doing it blindly is very cool. Less professional, all the more so cool. Change it up. People like seeing the raw, cool stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, and it really, I like that idea of like creating blindly. It's even like in the business world, you want to really disconnect yourself from the results. It's like it doesn't matter. It's like you really want to go out there and do the best that you possibly can, but ultimately you want to separate yourself from the results. Like it doesn't matter. It makes no difference.
Yes.
Because it's true. If you get that mindset, then you're so free in what you're creating. That's such a good lesson. I think that's a good lesson for a lot of people. So yeah, thank you for that. So a couple last questions. These are questions I ask everybody that comes on the show.
Oh yeah.
What has been the best opportunity that you've received as a result of your YouTube channel?
Whoa, the best opportunity? Girl, I worked with Ana Luisa. They're a beautiful jewelry company in New York. And I created this amazing pair of Cuidado earrings. These Cuidado earrings, they benefited a safe women's birth center in Oaxaca, Mexico. So birthing centers in Oaxaca, Mexico are disgusting, and men will take advantage of ladies while they're in labor. Men will, it's disgusting. And these are doctors, right? So there's a safe birthing house, and it's called Casa Compasiva. And the lady who does it and who started it up just has a heart of gold. And she's been doing this for years and years and years. And all of the money that I made from those earrings went straight to them and benefited them. That was the coolest thing, because I didn't work with a designer per se. I sketched out my pair of earrings that I wanted people all over the world to wear, to symbolize care. That's what Cuidado means. It means care. And I thought of self-care, especially as mom. Self-care is huge. And then to also care for these ladies in Oaxaca, Mexico, who are giving birth. So I had the ability to design, create, and send out all these amazing earrings. That was the coolest thing, and the most just beneficial thing that I have ever done on my YouTube career. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Wow. How I could see why you say that. That is wonderful. And then last question, what is your YouTube superpower? So what is it about you that comes naturally to you that has contributed to your incredible success on YouTube?
My YouTube superpower. Well, I just like how you say it because it makes me feel like a superhero.
Yeah.
You know what? And I think there's a lot of people out there that they talk about themselves and it's very proud, and I think it's silly, but there does come a time when you need to talk about yourself and just kind of be proud of what you have done. And when it comes to me thinking about my superpower, you know what? This sounds so stupid. I think my superpower is just me. I think my superpower is my personality. I think my superpower is my laid backness and just me being personable. I think a lot of people, their superpower is in the filming and the editing and the crazy things that they do. But when I talk to my subscribers and my followers face to face, they say, I come back for you. I come back for your personality. I come back for the weird things that you say. I come back for your joy and your love. And for me, myself just feels like a superpower. And that's about as silly as I can get. But I just feel like people come back for me. It's not just my content. It's actually just who I am. Someone said I could make a video about chopping carrots or something, and they would watch it over and over. I feel like personality, that's my superpower. That's what keeps people coming back.
Yeah, and that's your zone of genius, and that's what you're using to make this amazing channel. So thank you so much. I'm glad you agreed to come on the show because I had a lot of questions in watching your channel. I find everything that you're doing just as a mom. I can't believe you're 24, by the way, too. I mean, you just you're so mature. I was like, oh my God, 24. It's amazing. So you're inspiring. And you have a huge future ahead of you. And I just glad to have talked to you. And so thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing all your thoughts on YouTube and your, advice. I know that a lot of people will really enjoy this. So for people that are new to you, where's the best place for them to find you?
Yeah, Sarah Therese on YouTube. That's it. It's just my name. You can find me on Instagram, Sarah Therese V, and that's where I hang out. That's where you find me.
Awesome. And for those of you guys watching, listening, come here to YouTube and comment. Let Sarah know what you got out of this episode. What do you think about the way she approaches her videos? That she uploads and lets it go. What do you think about how she completely deleted all of 200 something plus makeup videos? I mean, what do you guys think about it? Like, were you inspired? Did it make you think about things differently? Are you going to maybe take some action? Comment below. Let myself know. Let Sarah know. And we'd love to kind of start a conversation there. So thank you so much, Sarah. This was lovely.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Love being here.
Bye.